The UK is heading towards some sort of lockdown to combat the coronavirus. Now, I'm on holiday anyway this week, so I was planning to spend quite a lot of time at home. But I am amazed that the government has issued the advice not to make any non-essential journeys. Because in the UK, petrol's that fucking expensive and the British roads are that dire, I didn't think anyone was driving just for fun. Taking Mrs. Disgruntled to work this morning, I have to weave around potholes because if I hit them in my Mini Cooper with its stiff suspension, it's going to fire my fucking spinal column through the top of my skull. But yesterday I did have to make a couple of trips out, and it was amazing the contrast in what's going on in British society. Because supermarkets are packed full of dickheads stockpiling things they don't need. We've all seen the news of people buying masses of toilet roll. And just this morning I watched a video by an American mathematician who's worked out for the families who are buying the huge bulk packs, for 14 days of isolation, a family of 4 would each have to shit 180 times a day to get through that much toilet roll. And if you're crapping 180 times a day, you've got bigger things to worry about than COVID-19. I also suspect a lot of families are going to be having pasta for their fucking Christmas dinner this year. But once I left the madness of the supermarket, I then had to go into town. Now, I live in Staffordshire, an area called the Potteries, and the main town centre is a place called Hanley. If you're thinking of visiting, don't bother, it's a shithole. And I expected it to be quiet, given that it was midweek, but not deserted. I mean, even the usual illegal immigrants and drug addicts weren't there. In fact, the only people that seemed to be present all worked in shops. I was able to walk into the store I want to go to, pick something off the shelf, pay, and be out in less than 5 minutes. I have never been able to do that before. There's also some quite curious health advice. If you want to boost your immune system by increasing the amount of white blood cells you've got, this can be done quick and easily by masturbating. So if you're a chap and you do it that way, or you're a lady who do it that way, or that way, and you want a quick boost, knock yourself out. But without being too graphic, like I said, I'm on holiday this week, so I'm in the house on my own with access to the internet. And if tossing off is good for your immune system, I'm half a box of Kleenex away from being a fucking superhero. Honestly, if that's true, I can probably just go and wander around reactor number 4 at Chernobyl. There's also a lot of misinformation going on about COVID-19. I had a chap comment on one of my videos saying that even if you recover from it, the damage it does to your lungs will take 10 years off your life expectancy. How the fuck would anyone know that? This is a new disease. We won't know if it's taking 10 years off life expectancy until decades in the future when people start dropping dead early. It's also not being caused by 5G towers, and it isn't a bioweapon. Coronavirus is a mild flu-like illness with a 98% survival rate. Although it now appears the best weapon we've got to combat it is called Pornhub.